Hello, hello. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. East Coast Tina says, I think I'll roll a fatty. Roll it up, Tina. Smoke it in the name of sanity and good sense. I'm going to start the show here in a second, guys. Just give me a moment. Until then, enjoy the tunes. I know there's no video, Brian. I'm totally aware of that. This is called a starting screen. I should probably put on there somewhere starting soon. So that way no one gets confused that I haven't messed up. But I understand why you're jumping in there so quickly. There have been so many technical difficulties with this stream. I'm surprised this one started with no hiccups. So let's all be grateful for that. All right, be with you guys in a second. All right, guys. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. So stoked to be here. Finally, the weekend. Right? I'm excited for the weekend. Sort of. Working for part of it. But I like working on the weekends because my job's so much easier on the weekends. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. It's the best way to support this show. Another really wonderful way to support this show. It's not free, but you can support the show financially if you want for as little as $1 a month. Check out the Patreon below. We've also got our YouTube subscribers. So thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed or a membership. YouTube membership has become a member of the channel. Thank you all out there to all my members. Truly appreciate it. Want to say hello to East Coast Tina, Brian, Travis Roberts, Local 556, Hyatt in a Mug, guys, Lord Ludacris, Mr. Eon, welcome to the show. Let's see here. Cliff C. It's the first time I've ever seen you in the chat. Such a wild, long name. Almost feels like a bot. Engaging with skeptics / harassers. Open, transparent investigation, reliable data collection, expert analysis, peer review, education, awareness, engaging with skeptics, media representation, collaboration, and international cooperation. If it takes 5 attaboys to neutralize 1 wrong, how can you UAP be destigmatized? Is the gradient of AARO and NASA public data release the only way? I could tell you a great way to destigmatize UAP. You know, the whole philosophy of 5 attaboys to neutralize 1 wrong. You know, a lot of people, I think, mistake kindness for weakness in this discussion. And, you know, it's not fun when the same tactics are used on them as they used on us. Like, it's, you know, it's not fun when people do that. you know, and it's destigmatized. I mean, I think NASA and AARO are two really great steps to destigmatize, but, you know, destigmatize for what? Are we trying to destigmatize because there is an alien presence on Earth and we need to destigmatize the thought of that? Because we need to have a much bigger and deeper, more philosophical conversation about our place in the universe because of this presence? We need to destigmatize it for that, or destigmatize it because we want our servicemen and women to report weird shit in the sky when they see it and not be afraid to do so because it's a national security issue. Nothing to do with aliens. NASA and AARO are going to try and get to the bottom of it after their presentation. I think they will. I think they are going to get to the bottom of this UFO question. And I have a feeling a lot of UFO sycophants out there and leaders of sycophants are not going to like the results that NASA and AARO come to the table with. We're going to break down, I figured who better to break down that NASA AARO presentation than Rather Be Squidding. He's going to be here on the first Tuesday, so this Tuesday coming up. So we'll break down that. I also gonna give McGowan a call, see if he wants to come in and help us break that down. I think that would be a fun trio to get everyone's favorite parts of that presentation. And there was a lot of things said. The thing that I took away first and foremost is that the scientific method is first. And that's a breath of fresh air because I think they actually mean it this time. And we'll get into those reasons on Tuesday. So teasing that for Tuesday. But it does, I wanted to highlight this and leave it out of Tuesday. Unless, of course, one of the two other gentlemen want to bring it in, which I have a feeling they're going to have an opinion on this aspect of the conversation. And that is that not just one, but several, including Dr. Kirkpatrick and several members of the panel of AARO and NASA have been hunted down, harassed, in some cases doxxed. And I'll be 100% honest with you, like, that was the most shocking part. That the likes of King Milkfart and Sawan, and we're going to get into some of the things they said, that was broken down by a very interesting account that's popped up. I have a feeling I know who runs this account, but the anonymity is, I think, the most important part of it, because you don't know who's behind the account. Could be anyone. And the way that it edits together the harassment and couples it with images of the actual harassment, to me and many others in the community, and the people who are at the brunt, at the tip of the spear of this harassment, are the people who question the narrative or have changed their mind, especially on what the narrative is and what the whole discussion is about. There is a radical element of this conversation that it is 1 billion% convinced that aliens are here. 100 billion% convinced. And anything that pushes back against questioning that in a legitimate, sometimes scientific way. I can't say scientific because I'm not a scientist, but there are legitimate scientists within this group at NASA and AARO that did simple trigonometry, and we'll talk about the simple trigonometry on Tuesday, to prove that the video game programmer had it right. And that chapped your asses. And the response to that is to find professional scientists and people that are legitimately curious about this question. The thing that we claim we've always wanted. All we want is science to take this seriously. That's all we're asking for. That's all you've been bitching about for decades. And here, for the first time in recent history, a group of scientists from NASA that have all of the bona fides that you could possibly want from all different spectrums, actually looking at not just the weird stuff, not just the what seems unexplained at first, but with enough data is always explained. And there were so many examples of that in this presentation. And again, we'll get into it on Tuesday. But the fact that these stone cold scientific facts are being laid on the table enrages the prophets of this tale, this lore, this smokescreen. There's so many layers to this subculture of UFOs, and who are the loudest people in the room and who push the absolute worst information when it comes to legitimately trying to get to the bottom of this. And then when real scientists step forward and are like, okay, look, you know what? Now our pilots are seeing it. Now we're getting some weird reports. Let's legitimately look at this. And when we first, the best piece of evidence, one of the 3 best pieces of evidence with simple trigonometry was figured out really quickly. And we're talking about go fast. And the fact that go fast, the thing that was claimed to be breaking sound barriers, was going 40 miles an hour. Gee, I wonder what flies 40 miles an hour. A bird? An osprey, which is an actual bird, not like a military weapon that I'm referring to. They fly up to 80 miles an hour. And those birds can get pretty big. It's insane to me that even before this presentation, these scientists are getting harassed and doxxed because we've heard of what was it, corporate terrorism, something along the lines of that when it comes to Gary Reed and Lou Elizondo. We've heard about how we can't trust Susan Goff. We've heard about how we can't trust Dr. Kirkpatrick. There's a huge list of people that have been espoused as being roadblocks to progress. And that's the green light for elements in this community to find them on LinkedIn and then professionally reach out to them with threats and harassment and how dare yous and you better this and you better that. I wouldn't be shocked if some of you guys get knocks on the door from an alphabet agency of some kind. wouldn't shock me in the least. Because now you've gone from harassing a nobody actor who had a really shitty experience with one of these prophets and just told his side of the story, and have now upgraded to threatening DoD employees and NASA scientists, amongst researchers, journalists, and failed actors. I've been saying this for a while. Someone's gonna get hurt. And I don't point this shit out to be dramatic. They said it multiple times on a stage that said NASA on it. You think addressing this is helping stigmatize UFOs? Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. That's not stigmatizing UFOs. Stigmatizing UFOs is selling flares as a craft. Stigmatizing UFOs is talking about a 20-minute video that probably doesn't exist of a crystal clear alien craft. Stigmatizing it is opening up a media entity with stories of a triangle coming out of the water, and we never see it and we never hear about it again. It's right in front of your face. So, I guess before we get into this video, and this video was put out by the Twitter handle King Milkfart Harassment Archive, and it's at Deja Vu 2U2. Just to be 100% clear, I have no clue who this person is. But it's not shocking that someone took it upon themselves to start logging all of the harassment from not just one person, but a gang, a multitude of people. And you can be guaranteed that that stretches that group of very vocal minorities of the whole conversation. I don't mean like as a person. They are the minority, but they are the loudest and they are the most vicious, and they will make things up about you just to get you to respond. That's what they want. They want you to stand up for yourself because they know that's human nature. It's like, why would you say these things about me? You have no clue who I am. And I'm not defending myself through a ghost account. I'm doing it with my microphone and my show that I built. If you don't like that, tough shit. And if you think that's stigmatizing this conversation, you're really not looking at this as a whole. So, a couple of things before we play this. And the person who posted this that I first saw was an account by Paranormal Chris at the _Chris. You guys will see this in a second when I pull it up. But I just want to say two things, and I think this is appropriate. Warning. There is Ah, man, I can't even play this. I can't even play this because there are some images that, yeah, for sure, I'll get another strike by one of these guys. So I can't play it. But what I'll do is I'll play. No, well, there are parts of it I can play. So I'll go through it frame by frame. And then we'll read. What I wanted to do first is go through it and read the pictures and what they say and who they're addressed to. Because I think that's important. That's really important. Because these are the people that are actively stigmatizing the conversation. They are the reason why scientists don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole, because this is the first thing that tracks them down and starts interacting with them. And so if you genuinely care, if you're genuinely curious, you associate with these guys, again, shame on you. And if you're silent about this shit, shame on you. If you genuinely want progress, you should welcome Dr. Kirkpatrick. You should welcome the AARO office. You should welcome NASA and this whole panel of people wanting to actively look into this. And at surface level, I think they're not impressed. And they have shown that witness testimony means jack squat no matter who it comes from. It means shit. Doesn't matter what kind of expert you are, what you've seen, what you think you've seen. If there's enough data and enough corroboration to collect to determine for sure that's what you saw, 10 times out of 10 so far, it's come back with nothing impressive. Oh, well, they're hiding it. Maybe. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. But after watching this presentation, I think it's very clear that you've got a group of people that some have government affiliations and some don't have government affiliations. But what genuinely came across, especially with that NASA stamp, in the corner of the video, is that they're genuinely curious. They're genuinely curious. They want to get to the bottom of this, and they understand people's concerns. And some of them even want to hear from the witnesses, want to hear from the public, and somehow archive that. But honestly, that's last on the list. There's a lot better science to be done than gathering eyewitness testimony from the public. No offense. But you might as well get the best kind of eyewitnesses you can. And then when the time comes, if you can, if there's time, if there's enough bandwidth to do something like that, then. But I think NASA and AARO will get to the bottom of this. And like Kirkpatrick said, eventually they're not going to need AARO because they will have the instruments on the planes to dial into these specific areas that our enemies are putting weird shit. And that weird shit is listening devices, is spying devices. So, and who knows, maybe one day worse, which would be terrible, right? So we need to destigmatize it so that way pilots report it and ground personnel report it and people at nuclear facilities report it. They have to understand that this is imperative that they report it. But just because it looks weird doesn't make it alien. And it's probably not. It's probably not. It's designed to look weird on purpose. said it a billion times, man. Like, I know I keep hammering it home, but it's important. Anyway, all right, let's get to this video. Switch to this mode here. And so here's who posted this clip, and I'll play parts of it. Let me kill the music real quick. There we go. And pump up the audio. I'm going to mute this first. We're going to go through it frame by frame.
It's disheartening to note
so this is
that
an archive of all of the panelists that
abuse
stood up and talked about how they've been harassed. And as they're talking, these images are coming up from people who have admitted to doxing and wanting to go after certain individuals. And we'll read some of these. Yeah, I'm so scared. So scared because there are some graphic images on this. Really graphic images. And like Chris wrote, I encourage anyone who tuned in yesterday to NASA's panel and heard Kirkpatrick, amongst others, discuss the harassment they face to watch this video. It will just give you a glimpse of the vile, disgusting attacks that they go through almost daily. Again, you can check them out at _para_Chris. No offense. I'm not following anyone anymore. But please feel free to follow him if you feel like it. So yeah, so King Milkfart Harassment Archive is the person who put this video together. Again, I don't know either one of these people, but this person writes, at NASA's historic first hearing on UFOs, many of the panel members spoke of the online harassment they face. This harassment is not okay, and it hurts disclosure efforts. Hashtag UFO Twitter, hashtag say no to harassment, hashtag UFO hate group, hashtag NASA. And so the first tweet right out of the box is from won't even say it. You guys, to follow it is to give it life. But this person is known, and we talked about this in my last episode, that got taken down. I think today's the last day that they could legally respond to fight it. So we'll see what happens with the video here in the next couple days. I think it's time to dox Mick West, to shut him up. What do you think? At King Milkfart, hashtag UFO Twitter. Like right there, I think it's time to. Why would you want to dox Mick West? Where he lives? Why? And that's just the start. Oh, I gotta. Who's Lou? Who just followed here? Sorry, guys. Go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I truly appreciate it. Oh, guys, sorry if I've missed your tweets here, or your messages. Sorry, it's just me running solo, so it's when I'm ranting, it's tough to watch the chat. But Child Support 04 has followed. Thank you so much. Give you another shout out here on Twitter, or excuse me, on Twitch. As you can see, I am. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go here. Let's give you another shout out there. And Mr. Mad Eye 1993 followed 2 hours ago. Thank you so much. And Grand they good. I don't know. Grand they good. Anyway, thank you guys for the follow on Twitch. Truly appreciate it. All right. Okay. So you will find my Twitch under the same handle that this channel's on, or actually I think it's under the Extinguisher 986. That's my gamer tag. I don't know. You can find it. You can find it. My link tree is in the description below. It's in there. Okay. So, oops, this was playing. Boy, oh boy. Okay, I think we're safe. Okay. So then the second tweet that is put out here is by the same person, and it says, "Is this Susan Goff UFO Twitter? I wouldn't trust my kids taking her candy." And it's a picture of Susan Goff. Looks like a private photo. Doesn't look like someone would want on the internet. But scratched her eyes out with this marker here, the digital marker. It's just got bad vibes written all over it, man. And again, this is just like the start. Again, same person. Replying to King Milkfart and Mick West and 6 other people. Mick West is a fucking dick who needs to shoot himself. This is picture Susan Goff as a female dominatrix talking to John Greenwald and Stephen Greenstreet about how mommy's there to teach you a lesson. Like, you know, again, look at if you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch, you guys can see the handles. And I mean, again, like, to give these guys any, I'm not saying go and tell them, oh, shame on you, or go, you know, do anything to them, but you should know who they are. You should know who they are and what they do, what they're capable of. There's a lot of stuff in this video that you should go watch. I would love to play the whole thing, but I'm gonna edit together my own version of this, particularly the presenters that talked about, you know, I mean, look, we've got one here, 2, 3, and oh boy, we're definitely gonna play this guy. Yeah, it's like, do this. We'll play that part of it for sure, because yeah, that guy, what an ass. Okay.
Scientific process, which requires.
So this is, I think, if I have my following of the whole timeline correctly, I think this is King Milkfart releasing a picture of Tupacabara's relative's house. I don't want to say who, but if you know online, you know who she is. You know, like doxing people's family members. You know, this is a picture of John Greenwald as a fat guy, and it says, I don't know, Reading. Jeez. Yeah, it's just a reply. Sorry, I thought it said something. It was hard for me to read. Yep, that's a thing. Truth is out there. Nadia M. Drake and Mick West should F each other to death. Hashtag UFO Twitter. And yeah, this is where I'm afraid to go past, because that's where stuff just starts getting really crazy. I'm gonna play the first part of it up until then, just so you can hear a little bit of the harassment claims.
It's disheartening to note.
Again, I'll link this in well, I'm not gonna link this video in the description, but what I'll do is I'm gonna edit my own version of this so it doesn't have all of its graphic images, and because I think just having it up there without that is important. I think that alone speaks volumes. It's nice to have some of these messages with that, but yeah, if you're gonna put the really graphic ones, like, yeah, if I'm gonna put them on a show, they got to be blurred out, because you never know who's watching. Anyway, and that's the That's what sucks about this is I really want to show the graphic stuff. I really do, because I think it's important to know, like, the depths of which, I mean, they're doxing people's children. There's a recording of them doxing a retired veteran with PTSD and her child and making up a whole bunch of lies about her. There's another woman who was accused of pill popping and being a bad mother and having an OnlyFans account. And it turns out all of that stuff was just made up by King Milkfart. It's some really, really, really nasty stuff. And you don't see both sides doing that. You just don't. You just don't. You only see one side doing that. And it's gotten all the way to the levels of DOD employees. When you're doxing pictures of DOD employees and leaving them messages on LinkedIn and calling their offices like these people said, dude, you're in for a world of hurt, I think. A world of hurt. Like, why would you do that? Anyway, let's play some of this.
That several of them have been subjected to online abuse due to their decision to participate on this panel. And NASA's security team is actively addressing this issue. We at NASA are acutely aware of the considerable public interest in UAP. However, it's critical to understand that any form of harassment towards our panelists only serves to detract from the scientific process, which requires an environment of respect and openness.
If that doesn't give you the chills, like, dude, if you're hanging out with these guys, if you're chopping it up, laughing it up behind the scenes, oh, look at this guy. Oh man, what a loser. You know, behind the scenes with this group of people. You talk about the wrong side of history. Oof. Man. Dude. And that's not excusing other people's behavior. All behavior should be pointed out when it's gross. But point it out and move on. Like, dude. Alright, let's... Gosh, man, alright. I really wanted... This is another... These roaches need to be exterminated. Oh, and this one was about me. This one was really adorable. Damn. For some reason, these Twitter videos, like, they suck, dude. Can't scrub them. Yeah, so there was a comment about we got to kill these roaches, referring to me, John Greenwald, and a few other people. And King Milkfart's like, don't worry, we're on it. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along those lines. And yeah, it was just... Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, yes, and that is well underway. Trust. What kind of douchebag do you have to be to write that? Oh, yes, and that's well underway. Trust. Are you from the street, dude? Do you have a rap album coming out? Plumbers Anonymous? What who are you? Trust. trust. I mean, I don't even know how to say that as a tough guy. What a goonie. You are such a goonie, man. Oh, bro, getting a girlfriend must be really tough for you. Really, really tough for you. Trust, bro. Trust.
Who is?
And here is my favorite dickhead of all time, Thomas Fessler, having the guy on his show who wrote all of those messages that I was able to read from the beginning of this video. I warned you guys about Thomas Fessler. I made a video about this guy. I didn't trust this guy from day one. He always gave me the worst vibes. And he's got 200 people on his show every night. He speaks to the sycophants. He stole my format. He stole the opening of my show. Listen to the opening line of his show. He stole that from me. He just tweaked it a little bit. Hello, good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, and aloha. He does the exact same thing, just without the aloha. Dude. So here he is hosting the guy that hunted down Kirkpatrick and Susan Goff, and I'm sure a whole bunch of the other scientists on this NASA panel. And here he is talking to him on his show.
Who is the original person to actually harass Sean Kirkpatrick over LinkedIn? Swan Patel. Swan, how you doing? Wait a minute, I already welcomed you, but I'm gonna welcome you again.
I think that message was for me, to be honest.
Man, they're having a heyday with your name on Twitter, Swan.
Oh yeah, they were saying it's probably Swan who harassed freaking Kirkpatrick. You're damn right it is.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing because.
And that's a good thing. He said it twice. So nice he said it twice. So he supports this maniac calling and leaving messages for Kirkpatrick. So I wonder why my show only has 70 people watching it. And this guy's got 200. That's how much people hate truth. They're so willing to believe that they watch this fucking goonie. Imagine being one of the 200 people that watches Thomas Fessler for 2 hours. Woo! Oh man. And I'm the failed. Dude, give me failed actor all day. All day over this. All day.
Because you'd rather be on top of it than underneath it.
We need to hold these fuckers accountable.
Yeah.
Swan's hard-nosed, man, and I don't think they like it. I like it, though.
Just getting the standing ovation for literally destroying the one shot that you have at actually getting some possible answers to this question that's so important to you. All you want is the truth. All you want is science to take it seriously. Why isn't the news talking about this? Why isn't mainstream media talking about this, Ross Coulthard? This is why. Because you cultivate this. And you're just one of many. I'm just pointing you out. Lou Elizondo, Gary Nolan, Sean Cahill, Sean Munger, that UFO podcast. Disclosure team. What a joke. You could do a whole show about that. There's so many people that claim, that have science podcasts, right? And claim that they want legitimacy, claim that they want truth, but don't have the gumption or the wherewithal or the temerity to ask one fucking good question. Because you're afraid to lose that cult membership. You're afraid to lose your 600 Patreon members. These roots extend all the way to the top of this story. The roots of these guys, trust me, I'm not going to even say that. Like, there are roots that stem from this very gross tree, and they extend to all the elements of this that are the loudest in the room about how much proof they have and when it's coming. It's almost here. It's right around the corner. This summer, when we release a book, when the movie comes out, bros, don't worry. Trust me, bros. When the movie comes out, you're gonna cream yourself with all of the facts in a movie. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, anyway. I mean, what do you guys think? I have not heard Mr. Eon's voice. But sure. I'd like to hear it. Never follow Milk Fart, but is he supposed to be an inside Lou Doty type? He's a plumber that believes aliens are here visiting planet Earth, and that Lou Elizondo is the reason that truth will be one day revealed, and he will stop at nothing to destroy who you are on Twitter. He has no influence outside of that. Zero. So yeah. I hope I didn't miss any super chats, you guys. I did. Let's see here. This is from I can't read the name. Hold on a second. Let me blow up my chat here. Wait a second. Why are you giving me a hard time? Two seconds, guys. I just want to make sure I shout out this $5 donation. I mean, it's just eyes. 3 eyes, and one of them's upside down for $5. I wouldn't discount Eyewitness accounts so easily. John Mack did great work here. John Mack was funded by Bob Bigelow. You can't trust a goddamn thing that comes out of John Mack's mouth. And he's just one guy. He's just one guy. You know, like, no, I'm sorry. Thank you for the donation, but I think you're wrong. I think if you really do your research on John Mack, you'll find out that, yeah, his connections are questionable. Very questionable. Especially considering Bigelow and how he took all of that information, sold it to MUFON for profit, then sold the ranch for profit to a real estate developer who knew exactly what to do with it. Make it a paranormal hotspot and tourist trap for the state of Utah. That's cool. Roswell did the same thing. You know, the little alien does the exact same thing. Like, I don't have an issue with that. Just don't call it science, because it's not. That's what I have the issue with. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm sure Matthew Riot's in the chat. He can definitely educate you on John Mack a lot more than I could. 99 cents from Logan Black. 100 underlined twice. Thank you, Logan Black, for the donation. I truly appreciate it. Let's see here. Did I miss any other ones? I don't think. Oh, Lord Ludicrous. Nothing mentioned about the Air Force or 3 letters. What do you mean by that, Lord? I'm sorry. I don't understand the meaning of that. I just got lost in the conversation here, reading all these other things. I'll look for your reply here in the chat. You guys, thank you so much for being here, both on Twitch and YouTube. And if you're watching on Twitter, hey, thanks for watching on Twitter. Let's see here. Why didn't they show the gimbal video? Probably because I wonder, that's a great question, Tina. I'm curious to know if the AARO office has access to the missing data of the gimbal video, because there's a lot of missing data from gimbal, and those are the things we asked for in the Big Phone Home 3. That, and to improve the FOIA process, which clearly needs to be done if you're following John Greenwald and the FOIA requests that were denied recently from him. Yeah, like, man, I'm wondering if they have the missing data, and that missing data is sources and method sort of classified. But I hope they address it. I hope they either provide the missing data or address questions from the gimbal, and just to get to the bottom of, hey, what are we looking at? How far away is it? How far away is it really is the biggest question. Like, Mick West doesn't know how far away it is. Marieke von Kloppenstick doesn't know how far away it is. Nobody knows how far away it is. They're guesstimating. They think they know. They're like, if it's a mile, 2 miles away, it's probably a plane or a jet with the flares and the IR. I mean, we could talk about this all day. If it's really far away, like 50, 60 miles away, and it's got a signature that big, okay, it's I think a little more interesting. But who knows? Maybe NASA or the AARO office has that information. I'd be curious to know. Let's see here. Did Logan ever respond? Or Lord Ludicrous? No mention of the Air Force or any mention of 3-letter agency. Kirkpatrick said it was a Navy effort. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch the entire presentation again, and then I'm gonna edit portions of it, because I think there was a few themes in that entire presentation, and you clearly could tell they had it laid out. Like, they knew exactly what they wanted to talk about. They ran a little over. I wish they had maybe next time they'll take questions from the public. I mean, like, I think that gimbal question is a great question. You know, and I wonder if there's any room for citizen scientists or citizen trigonometrists, mathematicians, like Mick West, to put his data on the table and say, this is why I don't think you should even waste your time with it. Or hey, here are the missing elements we have from it. If I could get these, I mean, I think there's value in open sourcing. It clearly worked with Jeremy Corbell's flares and his 30, I mean 40, I mean 50 military witnesses. I mean, the number keeps changing, and it's funny the messages I get sometimes in the YouTube comments defending, oh, I'm a military flare expert. What the? I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Until it's proven, and there's not video from the Department of Defense shot the exact same night that matches the picture taken and pushed by a snake oil salesman and his best friend. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, yeah, you know, is what it is. Lou Elizondo cannot be found in the Space Force directory list of staff members. That's interesting. Because he does claim that he works for the Space Force, which if he does, even if he is a contractor for the Space Force, what would they say to the behavior he's displayed thus far? And do those roots from the shit tree extend to him and others around him? We shall see. We shall see. There was a very interesting thing that that sort of correlates this with this, that John Greenwald posted about today, and I've gotten a lot of, I've gotten a big response to it, a pretty decent response. And so let me see where John replies to this. I didn't bookmark it, so I have to. It was a reply, so let me look there. You know what? Let's do this. So, 8 hours ago, again, Paranormal Chris starts an interesting conversation, and I'm gonna switch back here to the solo show layout. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, and if you can do more, please do. Okay, so Paranormal Chris puts out, and guess who has a friendship with King Milkfart and follows King Milkfart? Well, I'll let you read it for yourself. Lou Elizondo. Yes, it's real, and welcome to the fray. This is the same shit he used to say to me. Welcome to the fray. Like, just makes you feel special. To which King Milkfart replies, Papa Lou, I beg you, please make my life with a follow. But if that's not okay, too, you will forever be my hero. Bless you. Love you. Salute you. Oh, where's your boot? I'd love to lick it. To which Lou Elizondo replies, ask and ye shall receive. LOL. Thanks, man. Go to Lou Elizondo's Twitter handle right now. He follows King Milkfart. He endorses this behavior. He sees this behavior. Silently. He likes when people attack the people that have been critical of his story and the things that he says and the things that he's done. He espouses that he doesn't put up with any sort of harassment, but yet he follows the biggest harasser online in the UFO subculture, known as #UFO Twitter. So that started a conversation. John Lucas says, translation, Think Tank and KMF are up all night taking Adderall and huffing keyboard cleaner, trying to figure out what past social media posts of yours they can use against you because you've become too skeptical and must be silenced. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it with that translation. This is where I disagree, though. I don't think Lou and KMF have any kind of friendship or secret dialogue. I know one of the theories is that Lou is weaponizing his followers to go after skeptics and debunkers, but I don't think that's accurate. I can tell you it's accurate because of what I'm not going to say a thing. I'll let John Greenwald do the speaking. To which Stephen Greenstreet talks about criminals in this video. I honestly, I don't think it's that important. I wonder how he obtains that information. Interesting, considering King Milford has been accused of doxing people multiple times. There's evidence of it for sure. John Greenwald replies to this, keep putting the pieces together of the puzzle. Luis Elizondo created a list of 5 felons, which was construed by me, Lou Angeles, as people he was associating with had criminal records, and that included me. That concerned Lou Angeles, and I can't blame him. I have no criminal record, and that is provable. And that's true. That's true. Comagate ensued shortly after, and a lot of that story got weird, which I have never shared. But speeding up the story, those private messages ended up getting posted online by people claiming to be close to Elizondo and his wife, who fed them the messages. Elizondo himself. How do I know? Elizondo told me, and I have it in writing. He did it so to clear his name, quote unquote. Elizondo's message went on to label me and others as, quote, mentally unstable and being, quote, a huckster. Exact wording. That's the exact wording he used. Amongst a ton of other stuff that is used by Elizondo's biggest supporters on a nearly daily basis. I've never seen Elizondo speak out against that type of vitriol that has gotten literally violent and dangerous against me and others. And if you watch that video, you'll see the violence that is threatened on John, on me, and others. It's pretty gross. And the accusations that are thrown out there, including John beating his child. And if you know anything about John Greenwald, that's not his MO. That's not John Greenwald. I'm sorry. No. And you better have a lot of proof if you're just going to say something like that. And the fact that you can just say something like that is wild. These are games being played that go beyond internet trolling, but rather cultivate an online gang with a cult mentality, creating fabricated accusations against people like myself, Chris here, and others. Those made up and fabricated charges include those of racism, QAnon association, misogyny, and even accusing me directly of beating my kids. People making memes with my face and others, bringing all this made up stuff together. It needs to stop. This is all sick behavior, and I believe now it stems to only a select few individuals who are literally playing digital commando while in mommy's basement thinking they are defending their savior, and as a result, changing the world. They live in a delusional but dangerous mindset. I've been screaming this for 3 months. And it's put out there as a mental breakdown. It's not. I'm just angry. Like, this makes me mad that the Corbells and the Elizondos are out there just making shit up, just making stuff up and suckering people like me into it and getting me to be a voice for it unknowingly and manipulating me with our connections. Just, I truly believe, random connections. I mean, again, like, think about the relationship that I had with Elizondo. I had his dad on my show. Like, if there was anyone who was trying to humanize Luis Elizondo, it was me. It was me. I wanted people to stop calling him a liar. I wanted people to look at him as the hero I thought he was, putting my hero on a pedestal. I trusted him. He sees this stuff. And I think he secretly, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, endorses this stuff because he sure as hell doesn't speak up against it. I mean, to be fair, he didn't do it when they were attacking Alex Dietrich, when her and Jeremy McGowan got into a tiff. He didn't step in and say anything. You know, he doesn't usually step in and say anything. But if that's the case, if you're not going to speak up when you see something wrong, why is it pinned on your profile? It just opens up a whole bunch of shitty questions. And John Greenwald finally told this story. Like, told this part of it. And I was like, yeah. Finally. Like, John Greenwald has it in an email. Lou Elizondo gave those messages to Richard Butt and what's that other maniac's name? I'm tired. I had 2 long days. But he took my messages and gave it to them so that they could start sowing the seeds of doubt with this whole Common-gate. Like, I gave John the same message and I was like, how do you take it? Like, am I stupid? Am I reading this wrong? Nobody, not one person. And even if they're like, well, technically it's right. Okay, cool. It's right. Fine. I concede. You're right. It's a longer list. There's 5 felons. There's 5 people and then 5 more felons. So who are the 5 felons? It opens up more questions. It's a can of worms, man. Just like the whole sock puppet thing. It's a can of worms. I part of me didn't even want to ask the question because I had a feeling deep down in my heart I wasn't going to like the answer that he gave us. And I didn't. It was a terrible answer. It was a terrible answer. The only answer you can say to do you have sock puppet accounts that harass people? The only answer is no. But that wasn't the answer. It's not the answer we got. Anything outside of no does not work. And if you're too afraid to call that out, shame on you. Shame on you. All right, you guys, that's the show. That is a show. I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't want it to dilute the conversation about the entire presentation because we are going to break that down on Tuesday. And you know, it's not for clicks and likes because God knows I'm not getting clicks and likes. Like, you know, we've got the 77, 80 people that are here, and thank you, God. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about the show if they want more clear information, more grounded information when it comes to UFOs. Tell them come hang out here. But there are elements to this conversation that are shaping narratives and that are also adding stigma, not taking away from it. And it's curious that the leaders in this conversation don't say, fucking knock it off. Publicly say, knock it off. I'm unfollowing you. Knock it off. You shouldn't be calling Dr. Kirkpatrick, you shouldn't be doxing Susan Goff's picture online of her on Halloween night. You shouldn't be doxing and harassing women online just because they're questioning the narrative. You know, like, or they just want to have a different conversation. Like it's I don't know if I want to get into how you think for even 30 seconds, because it's got to be a dark, terrible rabbit hole of just, yeah, vile, just vile. But I am kind of curious, like, where do you get the sense of you're doing good? Like you're doing something good. It's wild to me. Anyway, you guys, like I said, that's a show. I could rant forever. Could. Let me turn that down for you guys. Sorry about that. Probably blew out your ears. Apologies. I blew out my ears too, so we suffer together. We suffer together. Paranormal Chris, I think the things you're bringing up out there, I think you're spot on, man. You know, they already threatened you today with stuff on your Instagram that they're gonna dox. I mean, we'll see. They said the same thing about me, and so far none of it has come out. Not anything, because yeah, you can't find it. Anyway, you guys, that was a show. Thank you all so damn much for being here. East Coast Tina, wanted to shout you out one more time. Really happy dude. Thank you for being here. Bob Foreskin, I like that better. So okay, want to say goodbye to some other people. Darren Reed, thank you for being here. Beverly Holmes, B Baker, thank you for being here. Mostly Space, thanks for being here. Mr. Eon, I hear your voice is angelic. Maybe one day, you know what, I'm actually thinking about doing a call-in show. What do you guys think about that? Just type capital yes if you want call-in show, where I put the link and you guys just call me and we chat. If you're interested in that, let me know. I think that could be cool. And you don't have to show your face. Chris Bartel, thank you for being here. We got to get you on the show. We got to talk. There's some things I want to talk to you about. Beverly Holmes, I think I've already called you out, but in case I didn't, thank you. Brando PP. Sorry, I'm not very good at reading Spanish. Brando. I'm so sorry. Lord Ludacris, no mention. Okay, I already got down all the way to this. There was somebody else in here that I see for the first time, and I believe it was a person that's Heather Birdie. First time I think I've seen you in the chat. So thank you for being here. I think that's it. Stoned Ape, thank you for the $4.99 donation. Thanks for the show. No, thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. All right, you guys, that's it. I gotta go cook some dinner for the lady and get on with real life. I got other shit to do. But I love you all. Until next time, be safe out there. Peace. Sorry. When I turn off my headphones, the music shuts off. That one time, Lou, you gonna come drive this? No, I'm not. Not gonna drive there. But I want to talk to you girls. I'd love to chit chat with you two ladies. Just you two ladies. Mr. Eon, yes, I have heard your voice. I have heard your voice on Cambian Show. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Peace.